Hi guys. So I'm back again with another video and I wanted to talk to you guys about my program for the visually impaired. Let me see something.
Speech off.
Basically, I am asking for support and donations to open a center here in the Atlanta area to fill in the gaps between what is actually received and what is offered through these federal and state offices here and over the nation. I have actually lived coast to coast. I am a native Southern Californian, and I will say that overall, the best programs I have received was California, and even then, there were a lot of gaps. There is a real need here in Georgia for education, training, and accessibility. The interactions and the lack of staff, properly trained staff, consistent staff members at the vocational rehabilitation agencies is deplorable here in the state of Georgia. Most of the offices have one person assigned to an entire region or county, if you will. And usually that person is short lived. They move on, they do not stay at all, which puts everyone who is a client with visual impairment at a standstill until they're able to hire, recruit, someone else in that capacity. Otherwise, you will have to wait to work with a supervisor who is really not well versed in visual impairment and is constantly seeking the collaboration of a client. I mean, not a client, but of a coworker or a case advocate who works in that capacity. Lots of times your biggest challenge working with these agencies is the lack of desire to really help you. You'll meet a lot of confrontation. It'll be a lot of, I'm not sure what I can do for you. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I don't know if there's funding. I'll have to see. Turn in this, turn in that, turn in this, and we'll see what we can do. There's a lot of justification. They want to ask you, why do you want to do this? Why do you believe you can do this? Are you able to, attend classes or training or, we need to assess whether or not you have the potential to complete this program. We need to have all this medical documentation. And they will not share with you that they can pay for your medical assessments. They can pay for the transportation to get you to and from. They can actually do these assessments with you. They these documents they require and are requesting, they could actually sit there and do that with you. They could help you put together a resume, but they will lie to your face and use the strategy of, well, we want to see if what you're willing to do for yourself. We want to see if you'll advocate for yourself. We want to see, no, you want to see what it takes to break this person and run them off because you have no intentions of really doing your job and really connecting them with the resources for a better life, whether that's through employment or education or both, or even offering them the ability of entrepreneurship, because the agencies do have funding to help you start your own business. They have incentives to other employers to hire you, and they will pay your salary and for your training as an incentive to employers to hire you. with visual impairment, but they don't bridge those gaps. There's a lot of embezzlement in these agencies. There's a lot of mismanagement in these agencies. There's a lot of racism and prejudice in these agencies. There's just a lot of sick people that work in precious positions that just mismanage funding. They mismanage their power, and it just builds a community of people living in lack unnecessarily when they could be thriving regardless of their condition. So, my center would actually match people with the life they envision for themselves and provide the skills and the resources to live out that reality, whether it means educating, training, obtaining licensure, certification, whether that means on the job training or providing the grants, the funding to support that client for 2 to 4 years so that they can sustain themselves and build, the clientele and the market presence so that they can have, success, right? So that they can live a fulfilled and victorious life, because each one of us have a purpose, and whatever is going on with us needs to be overcome so that we can help those that are going through the same situation and bless them to move forward so that they can help those that they need to help, right? And this is how we have thriving, successful communities who are excited about life and who really care, want you to be healthy because they're healthy and they're excited and they want you to have good things and they want to keep that going because they have pride, because they have purpose, because they have things to do, right? So anyhow, a lot of people will think, well, I get this Social Security check and that's it for me, and it's really a hard reality to think I can only live within this $500 to $1,500 check a month, with my Medicare. I don't want to do anything to mess that up. No. As a person with visual impairment, you can actually make, which I believe has increased now, but prior to the pandemic, you could actually make $75,000, clear $75,000 as a business owner and still retain your Social Security disability benefits as well as your Medicare health care. So that means that if you made $200,000 and after expenses, deductions, everything like that, you cleared $75,000, you could keep your $75,000 plus. So as an employee, you could clear $1,800 a month. That means if you had actually earned $5,000 in a month and your expenses totaled $3,200 to get this job accomplished, which is very easy for a person with visual impairment, because you have to remember, we don't drive. So every time we step out the door, it costs us from point A to point B. Every step costs us money. So if we want to go to if we need to go to Walgreens, Kroger, and Target, you got to pay to get it from your house to Walgreens, then pay to get it from Walgreens to Target, then pay from Target to Kroger, then Kroger back home. So how many rides is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 trips. You can easily spend, especially with everything that's going on, $100 plus running your errands, right? Now let's think about, you want to get to work. Well, now there's limited Uber and Lyft drivers, right, who want to stay safe and want to limit their exposure and keep their family safe, and I appreciate that and I understand that. So now you either have to find a private driver and agree to whatever total they agree to, or pay a premium for those drivers that are willing to get out here every day, which could be $20 to $30 a trip. So now your usual trips may have cost $100, where now they're costing you $200 or $300, and you have to be extremely strategic because you still got to get through 30 to 31 days of the month, right? So You spending $100 on average a day, or let's just say 3 times a week. 300 times 4 is $1,200 easily in a month, right? Okay, on top of that, you are living a visual life without sight, right? You're living in a very visual world without that capacity. So now you need tools, assistive technology, you need software, you need hardware, right? So you need laptop, desktop, you need iPads, you need iPhones, you need Bluetooth keyboards, you need Bluetooth headsets, you need microphones, you need Bluetooth speakers, you need all kinds of things, and then you need the support with that, right? So you need Apple Care, you need tech support, you need all these different things. You need internet, Wi-Fi, right? You need landlines, so all of that is adding up. You need a home office, right? So you need the tools at the office, you need the tools at home, you need a certain type of scanner, you need certain type. There's all these things you need that can easily add up to the other $2,000. Then if you run out of something, or you need to go back and forth to the Apple store, you need to partner with the Windows person, you need to go to that store, you need to sit over there for 3 hours, 5 hours one day, because you figure. So you got to deal with Freedom Scientific. Then so there's so much that goes into accomplishing goals in a visual world when you are visually impaired, okay? And the last thing you need is for an agency that's supposed to help you, that has funding designated on your behalf, the visually impaired communities have, to assist you to create more barriers that hinder you and stop you from accomplishing your goal called life. Your goal called keep my lights on, like to have warm water when I bathe, like to have soap, like to wash my clothes. I like to eat, a couple of meals a day, have a couple of snacks. I like to drink water. I like to have a clean home environment. I like to be able to go out for a walk. I like to enjoy the fruits of my labor, everything I'm going through. If I want to go to the movie, or if I want to go to a concert, or to the opera, or to the orchestra, or to ballet, or to the game, or what have you, you should be able to do those things without apprehension and without reluctancy, because you have so many barriers to overcome. One thing I'd like to share with you all is how over these years there are these funds designated and allocated to the aged, elderly, and blind through the state. I have never received a dime out of these funds. Every single time I am not eligible. Okay? I'm not eligible. I asked them, who is eligible? You never get an answer. Everything is in the design of preventing scams, right? It's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Being blind is extremely expensive and extremely difficult. And no one needs to make it any more complicated than that. So the center is about having the technology there where a person can come in here, learn about what is a CCTV, closed circuit television. How would that benefit me? If you have low vision, if you still have a point of usable vision, then this would benefit you because it will allow you to manipulate tangible materials like magazines, like letters, mail, like anything that you can put in your hand that has a book, right? The Bible, anything. a letter. It would allow you to enlarge the font. It will also allow you to invert the colors. So if it's white paper with black letters and that doesn't work for you, you could change it to black paper with white letters. And the color blocking allows the content to be more defined and pop out, where your eyes do not have to work so hard to clearly and distinguish, okay, that's the word color, that's the word tonight, whatever it is, and you can read and access that information. A closed circuit television also puts things in a focus point where you don't have so much at one time, right? So you can only do 3 words at a time. So then you can move 3 words at a time, 3 words at a time. It's so many things that a closed circuit television can do. It also, some of them can read the document for you, to you, and scan it in so that you can do what you need to do if you need to save it and then you want to throw it away, and now you have this electronic format document and you're moving on with your life. You just got finished reading all your mail in 5 to 7 minutes. Cool. Burn it, move on, have a great day. But these are the types of places that need to be established, where persons with visual impairment can come in here and they can say, hey, I just acquired visual impairment. I've been having visual impairment for a long period of time. This is my reality. I want this to change. I want to go back to school. I want to start school. I want to train. I want to rehab. I want to have a better quality of life. I need help keeping my house clean. I need support in that capacity. I need someone that can come to my house every couple of days. This is my budget concerns. This is my budget. This is all the money that I have. What can we do with this? I would like to get outside the house. I would like to work a couple of days a week. I would like to start my own barber shop. Is there anyone that can help me understand how to do that? How can I start my own business? How can I enjoy life more? I'm struggling with seasonal depression. I would like to have someone that I can talk to. Can somebody check on me? Can somebody shop for me and actually unpack everything and help me organize and help me meal plan and help me know where my things are? Can somebody come through my house with me and so I can show them my challenges, and can they put these different labels and things that I can feel so I can know I can wash and not have to wait and have so much clothes pile up until one of my family members or a friend is willing to come over here and help me with my clothing? Can I have somebody help me with my dogs and the poop, and me have some type of there's so many things that persons with visual impairment need. Another thing, they need to be helped with social awkwardness and social presentation. They need to talk about that. They need to say, hey, I want to have love, or ever since this visual impairment happened, it has really affected my relationship. I'm really feeling dejected, or I'm okay with it, but my spouse is superiorly depressed. I feel like they're not attracted to me anymore. I feel like we can't have the relationship we used to have. I need some help in this area. You may want to start a support group. You may want to, I want to go into music. I want to learn how to play an instrument. I want to teach a class. I want to explore this side of me. There's so much to it. And there's no place like this. There's no place, I have a job. I've been at my job for 20 years. My visual impairment has gotten to the point where I am really struggling with getting my job accomplished. I'm almost ready to retire. I don't want to lose my job. What can we do? Guess what? Boom. I know companies and I know people that can go to work with you, and they can navigate the database, you can show them, boom, these are all my issues, and they can figure all that out with you and set up strategies, plans, maneuvers, keyboard. They can teach you things. They can actually, what's it called when you call into tech support and tech support taps into your computer with you? But they can do that. They can get on the computer with you, from a remote location, and you can show them where where you're getting stopped, what the disconnect is, and they can say, oh, boom. They can figure that out and then teach you the keyboard strategies or commands to get that done, or suggest rescripting of the database so that you can have a new platform where you can get your job done. But no one offers you these types of things because they don't have time for you and your problems, because they have their own problems, because they really have no business working for these agencies, because they are not interested in learning how to understand each person as an individual. Their textbooks have taught them everything they need to know as far as dealing with you as a visually impaired person, or their minds are limited on understanding and believing what you can really do, because it takes so much. Why should I invest this much in you? Oh my gosh, it's such a waste going through all of this to try to help you do this one thing, and you still might not be able to do it. No, I'm not going to put my energy there. I'm not going to put my resources there. No, I don't even know why we have this agency. You will be surprised how many people work for these agencies, and that is really their heart and soul. Why is this person coming in here knowing good and well they don't have nothing, they can't do anything? Oh, we're going to spend $300,000 on this person just for them to possibly have this minute difference. You are not God, and that is not your position to think in that way, period, point blank. That is where people go wrong. You work in these jobs and think that somebody is paying you to have an opinion. No one is paying you to have an opinion. They are paying you to do the job. That means if you sign up to be a case advocate for an agency for the visually impaired, that means your market base, the reason why you are employed, is because there is a community of people with visual impairment, and it is your job to connect them to the resources, to the education, to the training to fulfill their life purpose. And you do not determine what their life purpose is. You do not tell them what is acceptable or what is attainable for their goals. That is not what your place is. And you can leave, exit left. You can quit. All these people that work in these agencies with their pitiful and tired, existence, quit. Stop wasting taxpayer money and people's time, running them away and making them feel worse. Do you know how much energy it takes to put yourself out there in the world and say, hey, I'm still here? Regardless that this happened to me, regardless that this is my reality, I am still here, and I am still valuable, and I still have something to contribute. I am still purposeful, and I still have a plan. I still have a dream, and I still have a reality that I want to be excited and enjoy and embrace and share with the world. It takes tremendous energy. And for you as a person in the position to be a block to them, to be another point of derailment, how dare you? There are just people here on this earth that they can go. We don't need that. We don't need you here. We don't. You can go. And that's the bottom line. And so that's what my center is about. The center is about connecting persons to their purpose, beyond their obstacles, their challenges, beyond impairment. That does not define you. We are going to realign you with what you need to get on with your blessed life. And that's why I'm always saying, hey, you guys, always remember this channel, this Instagram page, my purpose, these videos are about bringing back the humanity to persons who are living with impairment, because people stop looking at you like a person and you're just that thing. You're just the blind person. You're not even the person. You're blind. You're just blind. You're just hearing. You're just deaf. You're just hearing impaired. You're just, paraplegic. You're not Tom. You're not Tina anymore. You're blind. And you're in that box over there. No, that's unacceptable. We have to embrace one another with whatever our truth, our dynamic is. Bipolar schizophrenia, whatever it is, you got to say, okay, I got this issue. That's what it is. And I'm still valuable and I'm still worthy. And I'm going to crack the code on this because I got to move on. This cannot engross me. This cannot be my defining point. This cannot be the best of me. Bam. I'm struggling with mental wellness and that's the end of it. So bow. I can't do nothing else but get my Social Security and live on Section 8 or within this dynamic, and that's it. No, that's why you have such a high influx of persons on drugs, street and pharmaceutical drugs. You have such a high influx of persons that are out of control, that are extremely irrational. You have such a high influx of people that are just homicidal, suicidal, um, and just cryptic. You know what I mean? And then you have such a high influx of diseased media. I mean, the television shows, the music, all the social media, the majority of the content is through the roof sick, anti-humane, because people are just at an all-time high of um, depletion. You're eating these nutrient deprived foods. You're drinking this diseased water. The water is extremely polluted with all these toxins. So you up here cooking with polluted water. We got this high radioactive, this world that is filled with so much radiation. You got the 5G LTE phenomenon that's going on that has brought the radiation levels through the roof. Cancer is running rampant. And so everyone is riddled with fear, you know. Everyone's so concerned. Oh my gosh, and feeling so out of control and out of place. And just because it's too much, rejection. There's too much denial that's been going on. There's too much tolerance of activities of behavior of things that are just anti-humane. And all of this, want to make more money. Okay, who cares? We're going to pump all the animals with so much hormones so we can make 10-pound chickens, 100-pound chickens, and then we can cut that chicken up and we can sell and make $1 million off this 100-pound chicken. And we're going to start, matter of fact, we're going to make the people like wings so much. We're going to just produce this chemical where we can start passing off rat meat for chicken wings, and even when they find out that it's rat meat, they won't even care because they just love chicken wings so much, and the lemon pepper just tastes so good. They don't even care. We're gonna sell them crack wings, and we're gonna tell them we're gonna sprinkle this white powder product on there, and it's gonna be so delicious and so tangy that they're not even gonna care that it is really crack. It's really a byproduct of crack. They're not even gonna care because it's so delicious and it's so cool to eat it. And you know what else? And we're gonna put smart on top of everything, even though it's polluted, even though it's killing them, even though it's nothing smart about it. We're gonna slap the word smart on there, and we're gonna have them buying this stuff like hotcakes. And you know what? We're going to have the mentality, everybody's going to focus on themselves so hard, they're not going to care when we kill off the kids, when all the kids are dying and their parents are dying. Nobody's going to care because we're going to make it cool to focus on yourself, and we're going to make it cool and acceptable to... No, guys. No. Turn off the TV and turn off the radio and shut down all this crazy social media. That's the challenge for today. Bless yourself and turn off the TV. No more watching TV in the background, watching the news and all this mess. No more of that for today. No more listening to music that doesn't increase you. Music that talks about your genitalia, that talks about, all this hypersexual activity, that talks about, I'm nothing, you're nothing, you ain't nothing but this, and you all, all this paranoia, right? No more paranoia music today, guys. No more conspiracy driven television shows. No more shows be killing everybody. It's always a twist. Everything's a twist and a turn. Everything's got a ulterior motive. All of that hyped up. Let's turn all that off for the next 2 days, today and tomorrow. And let's reconnect ourselves to our spirit. Yep, let's do it. We're just gonna let that go in the background. Let me see what happened. I hope I didn't get kicked out of my thing. Hold on, guys. Okay.
Speech on. Face near bottom edge. Stop. Face near bottom edge.
Okay, guys.
Face centered.
No,
face centered. 31 minutes. 35 seconds. Face centered.
I'm so proud of myself, guys. Okay, so it says the face is centered. So we are still filming. I hope I didn't do anything goofy. But yes,
one face centered.
Definitely support things that bless the community. Taking care of myself is one thing. Taking care of others. See, I used to always be the mom that always thought about the whole class. If I sent my daughter to school with something, I gave her enough to share with the teacher and the students.
One face centered.
Everyone. I always made it a point
Speech off.
To share resources, because what's the point in me getting my daughter immunized, taking her to the dentist, making sure that she's eating her vitamins, having a balanced lunch? What's the point in me doing that and then the rest of her classmates don't? They don't go to the doctor. They don't take their vitamins. They don't eat well-balanced meals. They don't. So all day long, she's getting harassed and terrorized against a group of nutrient-deprived children who don't feel good at all. They don't feel good because they're always hungry. They probably have a headache because of malnutrition. They're malnourished, right? They're annoyed and upset with their parents because they see my daughter come to school happy with a great smile, great energy. She's full of love, right? Teeth are nice, clean, white, right? She's got her own lunch pail, her backpack. She's got all the things that she needs. Everything's neat and nice. And they're looking like, why does my parent not care like that? Why is it that my parent doesn't make sure I have clean, nice, neat things and comfortable and have my own backpack and lunch? And why does my parent not care or make sure that I get, I have lunch money and I have a lunch and I have snacks. So just in case they don't have what I like or can eat for lunch, I can make sure I still have something. They get sick of that crap. Trust me. You don't know how many lunches my daughter has had stolen. I've told my daughter's whole lunch pail. I'm talking about we don't live in the hood, guys. So don't think, oh, she's in the hood, blah, blah, blah. No, I do not live in the hood. I live in the suburbs. And these little kids will steal your kids. I remember one Christmas I had purchased my daughter Donna Karan. It was on sale at Macy's, and anybody that loves Macy's know how good those sales are, and they have that great 85% off, and you wait till you get the coat you really, really want. You wait for that sale and stock and go in there. Anyway, they had these Donna Karen coats, and it was so pretty. It was this beautiful red, and I had found the matching gloves and hat. It was so soft, and it had that big ball on there, like snowball on the hat. It's like that beanie style. It had the matching. I got the hat and gloves out of the Gap, and I had got the coat from Macy's, and I had actually got one of my friend's daughters the same coat, but hers was in like this beautiful green color, and we had got her the matching hat and gloves and everything out of there. Do you know, I think my daughter got to wear that coat once or twice, and somebody stole it from her school. And I remember thinking, because then, like, let's say she wore it a couple of times and then end up getting really warm, because we lived in Texas and the weather, the cold times kind of just come and then it's over. And she was wearing her little different jackets, and I remember one day I was like, hey, where is your coat? And it was like interesting, because I would send her with different jackets, and then I would go in her closet because she had lots of different jackets. I'll get all different jackets for all different weather conditions, because that's what you do when you live in Texas. You have to have a variable of choices, because the weather is up, down, crazy. And so I'll be going in the closet like, what happened? Where's this or where? I'm like, it's in the dirty clothes, but I wash all the time. So I'm like, literally, she found one of her coats. Someone had left it in the playground or whatever. And I washed it, and it was all like brand new again. And then they stole it again. And then that red coat never saw the light of day. And then her lunch got stolen. I remember I had sent her with some chocolate covered strawberries. And when my daughter was young, like elementary and stuff, I would bake a lot. So I would send her to school, if I made homemade gravy with rice and steak or whatever, I would cut that up and put that in the green beans, sauteed green beans. And then if I had made a pineapple cake or whatever, I slice up the cake and put it in our little container and put that in. One day my daughter told me, like in 6th grade, I think it was, after they stole her lunch this last time, she was like, Mom, you know what? Can you just throw me like a bag of chips and a turkey and Swiss sandwich and stuff like that? Because she's like, it's like a spectacle. She said, everybody's always looking to see what I have to eat. They watch me eat. She's like, it's really uncomfortable, or they beg me to death. I'm sharing the majority of my lunch, so I really don't get to eat it. My daughter's coming to me like, I've had enough. I've had enough of this, right? So what I'm saying to you all is that there's so much going on in this world that we can take a stance on it and say, you know what? No, we're not going to go along to get along with this anymore. We're not going to sign up for this. We're not going to allow our children to go through this. We're not going to turn a blind eye. We're not going to do this anymore. What we're going to do, we're going to set some standards here, and we're going to enforce those standards. We're going to make sure that our community is healthy and nutrient enriched. And what we're going to do, we're going to start off one center at a time, and we're going to address these issues. And if the governmental entities are not going to do it, we're going to put our tax dollars, we're going to put our nickels and our dimes together, and we're going to build up the desired community that works for us. We're going to redirect those dollars and put them into what matters. Healthy communities translate and transform into healthy world. That's what it does. So if we want things to change, then we have to invest in what makes sense. And that's in the education and training, in the resources. That's what's made readily available. Not creating all these barriers and acting like, oh, it's nothing we can do. One thing that's crazy here in downtown Atlanta is the epidemia of homeless that are down there all around the Georgia State campus, and nothing is being done It is unbelievable. In particular, there's a bridge right behind the Human Development building, right near Pryor Street. I'm going to think of the name of that street in a minute. There's a bridge there behind that building. There's a whole community of homeless people that live under this bridge. They're bam in your face. There's a lady that walks nude in all over town. Everyone knows her, the police as well. They don't even do anything about it because she just what she does. They put clothes on her, she takes them right off. And she's like a zombie. She walks really slow, patient, intentionally, and she's zoned out. And this baby is nude. There's another gentleman. Whenever I've come down there, and there's parking in this lot right next to that building, behind it, that meets me in the parking lot to show me his behind and his private area. And he is so innocent. Now, you all be like, what? No, this man, his spirit is so innocent. And I had found out that the state had declined to allocate funding to psychiatric centers here. So that caused a couple of major psychiatric centers to close. So they weren't able to pay their staff or to maintain a staff or maintain even the center. So a lot of these newfound homeless, surgeons of homeless, are these patients. And so when I look at this man, I say to myself, and y'all are like, look at him. Yeah, like, even though I'm visually impaired, I do see. It's a spiritual sight, but it is real. And it's like he's just showing me. I think what's going on is that at the centers, they probably had him show himself to make sure that he cleaned himself properly. And I think that's exactly what he's doing. I think he's just showing me, like, hey, I'm clean. I honestly, that's the vibe. I am not threatened by him at all. Of course, I'm not trying to start a whole conversation and all that about it. I just acknowledge him and keep it moving. But he does this every time he sees me. I'm like, either I look like a nurse or a family member that he feels comfortable, and he just wants me to know he's clean. I don't know, guys. The bottom line is that there are so many things going on. There's such an outpouring of people who need these centers. They need help. And they are being disregarded as valueless, as who cares, as we're just going to ignore this. This is gonna go away. This is pointless. We shouldn't invest in this. We can use our resources for other things, other people. No, we're just gonna look like we care. We'll wait till Thanksgiving and give out baskets. Have y'all ever thought about this? Who can prepare these Thanksgiving meals and they're on the streets? Y'all giving out these baskets to the quote unquote indigent. Okay, where are they making these meals? And why do we have to wait all the way to Thanksgiving to help them out with a good meal? Why can we not feed these people all year long? And don't tell me we can't, because we can. This city alone has so many billionaires, it's unreal. The city of Atlanta is the international corporate powerhouse of the world. All the Fortune 500 corporate international offices are here. Then you got all these celebrities all around here. You have moguls here. There is no reason why this city is flooded with criminals, con artists, homeless people, and deplorable agencies that do not serve the agencies they're founded upon at all. They're not helping nobody. And I'm not talking about what I think. I'm talking about what I know and what I've experienced. And so that is why I said, hey, I got to be a part of this solution. I have valuable knowledge and skills. I have the ability to do more, so I'm going to do more, and I'm going to connect with others who want and believe in this, and that can provide this important service to a specialized group of people. I remember a few years ago, I'm gonna let you guys go because once again this video is like superiorly long. A few years ago, I had reached out, and this is several times, to a state agency, and I asked for assistance because I wanted to work for the government, right? So I needed what's called a Schedule A letter, which just acknowledges that I have visual impairment and that I am eligible for federal and state governmental positions. It's just all you have to do is have a rehab counselor. They can generate this paper for you. Boom. Now you can apply for federal and state governmental positions and go on with your life. The first counselor I asked, she never would give me this letter. I had to get her supervisor involved. By the time they finally gave me this letter, which was months and months later, the opportunity was gone. It was over with. Okay, so now I come back. I ask for assistance to get a job again. A couple years later, I ask, hey, can you guys help me? You guys supposed to have a business resource specialist that has contract with federal positions. This is what I want to do. I never got a single. Instead, the person that was assigned to me, they end up leaving the agency. Then I got stalled, delayed. Another person came in. They quit as well. They have extremely high turnover because it's such dysfunctionality that goes on within the agencies. People just don't have time, and the money is not worth it, right? You're not paying me for all this foolishness, so I'm out of here, right? And I can't be a part of willfully interfering and derailing people that's coming here to really be served. Why are we not serving them, right? So they leave, and that's understandable. So anyhow, I go in there. They're like, okay, you know what? So here's my third or fourth time going to this agency saying, hey, can you guys assist me with employment? Okay, the options they offer me initially is nowhere near my skill set. I say, you didn't even look at my file. Like, I'm bilingual, I'm trilingual, I speak 3 languages, I'm completely fluent in 2 of the languages. I have this bachelor's, I have this education, I have this graduate degree, this licensure. This is my background. I've worked for these federal agencies, and this is where I'm going with this. Oh, okay. So they said, well, you know what? We need you to go through this training with this agency here in Decatur in order for us to move forward. I said, okay, sure, fine, whatever, let me do it. I go to the training. Number one, they never had visually impaired clients, period. So they absolutely had no software, no technology, no background. They had no contracts with any employers that ever hired visually impaired persons, period. So when I get there, I spend a lot of time. So there's other people in the class that are visually impaired as well, and they're at the beginning stages of visual impairment. So they do not know about software, hardware. They don't know about the tools, nothing. And they're just looking for some type of labor work, where they can just, do things like learn how to put something together and just keep putting that same thing together all day long, or just do some form of housekeeping. Maybe they just mop an area, like very simple, just simple tasks that do not require vision, and that may give them $10 an hour, right? They had that mindset, and this agency was like, okay, yeah, we can probably find you something like that, right? Whereas I come in here and I'm like, hey, and they're asking us to get stuff done. Like, oh, we want to go over your resume. Oh, we want to, and these different people don't have resumes, right? So then it's like we go in the computer lab and they don't have the software for us to use the computer. So then it's like, oh, so then I start asking them like, hey, do you all have admin restrictions, or can I just download the software? So now I'm taking on the position as trainer, right? Because now I need to educate the person who's supposed to be helping me. Now I need to educate them on what the software is, where you get it from, how we can download it, the cost of it. But we can do a trial download that'll give you 40 minutes of use per per login, right? So now I'm training, and then it's like, and now I'm an annoyance on top of that, because this person already has a full schedule. So they don't expect me to have nothing to say. They expected me to just go along to get along, right? Well, no. So then finally, we come to a head. Both, me and this person that's running the class, we come to a head. So now it's like, you're a disruptance. You're a problem for me. You're interrupting me getting my job done. Let's have you meet with the owner. Boom. So now I meet with the owner. So I'm meeting with the owner. He's like, okay, Miss Bragg, let's sit down and let's talk about what's going on here versus what you need. And so I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm like, well, this is what's needed, this. And so he's writing it down, but he's very agitated and irritated with me. Okay. So he's writing this down. He said, well, let me just say this. You are very aggressive. Okay, that's what he tells me. You are very aggressive. He said, let me tell you my background. So he starts telling me how he's been doing this agency for 32 years, how he's prior military, how he's been married for, 30 plus years, and how he lives his life, right? And then he starts telling me how he's one of like 6 brothers, and all his brothers, and including his parents, have all been in domestic violence relationships, and how he decided, watching all these relationships, that he didn't want to be that way. And so when he married his wife, he made it a point to treat her with the utmost respect, and to cater to her, and to put her in a position where she would never have to worry or want for things. So that meant that he busted his butt to make sure that he could provide for her. And I was like, that's beautiful, that's wonderful. And he still went on and he said, I don't know what my wife does for a living, and I don't know how much she makes. That doesn't have anything to do with me. I pay all the bills in my house. I make sure that she has everything she needs, and whatever she wants to do is fine with me. He said, let me take it a step further. He said, black men, our lives are at stake all day, every day. He said, and I drive a Mercedes. He said, when I was driving to work the other day, police officer got behind me and pulled me over. He said, you know what I did? He said, I put my hands on the steering wheel, and when the officer got to the door, I said, hi, hello, sir. My hands are on the steering wheel. Was there anything you would like me to do for you? I said, okay. He said, right then and there, the officer knew that I was in respect of his authority, and that I was willing to do whatever it is he was going to ask of me. And he said, when he said, your driver's license, I said, may I move my hands from the steering wheel to get my wallet to give you my driver's license? And he went on to tell me how his son was, angry. Like, why did you need to do that? Why did you do all of that? Why did he even pull you over? Did he even tell you why? And he told his son, it doesn't matter. You have to respect the position and stay focused. And the bottom line is that I want to make it home to my wife and to my son and to my family. I don't need to understand this man's methodology, his what's wrong, what's right, how he should have did it. I don't need to meet his aggression with my aggression. No, because one of us trumps the other. At the end of the day, he has the position to take my freedom and cause me a lot of problems, whether it's warranted, whether it's correct or not. I have to stay focused on the position that I'm in versus the position he's in versus the position I plan to be in. Where do I want this to go today? Do I want to get home or not? Do I want to be in possible jail, my car impounded, go through the court system? Yeah, I might end up coming out on the right side of the situation, possibly. But how long is that going to take me versus me just humbling myself, respecting his authority, and moving forward? And that's what I got to do. I got to go on with my day. Now, he brought that up to me because I'm sitting there like, okay. So he's telling me my approach, right? My approach is not working for him. I said, you know what? I could understand that and I can see your point. I said, but you're mistaking my behavior as aggression and as passion. It's also disappointment, because my counselor sent me here with the understanding that you all possess the skill set, the knowledge, and the experience to proper align me with my goal, which was to be gainfully employed within my talents, my education. But that's not what was met here. What was met was more delays and foolery. Not to any of your, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you were underprepared and that you had no idea what it was going to take or who was coming through the door with visual impairment. But then I had to take it a step further and say, but you are an employer that works for persons with disabilities. You are a staffing agency, a contractor that's partnering with the community and employers. That's to say, hey, although this person may have this challenge, they're still a great candidate. Give them a chance. We're going to support them through this transition, through this opportunity, and we're going to do what it takes to make sure this works. See, if you're going to say those things and be about those things and found your organization on that, then that means you have to invest in the research and the staff with the capability to produce. It's not good enough for you to have this one lady here that can help 7 out of 10 of us, but the other 3 we're on our own. And then when I advocate, and I'm advocating with the position of I am more than willing to teach and take this position. And that's what I told the gentleman. I said, I don't come here with a long list of things that need to happen and not be prepared to back it up with actions. I will teach you all. I will train your staff. I will take on the position. And if you don't have the time to commit for your staff to take upon that training, I will be the position of training these students who need this skill set, this software, this accessibility, and I can be the liaison to contract to partner with your potential employers and teaching them on this software, this database, this so on. But what happens is people are not ready. So you are not ready for me to walk in your office and put you on that level. You wasn't ready, nor you may not have even thought that that's a possibility, nor are you even in the position to expand your mind to understand that all things are possible, because you had a focus and a goal that excluded those possibilities. Why? I mean, you're not visually impaired. Why do you need to stretch yourself to think in that manner? Why? You don't, even when you understand visual impairment equates blindness, you still don't know what that means. You have no idea what it means to walk around your own house and not have the gift, the pleasure, the convenience of looking at things, at being able to put your eye on them and properly distinguish, this is my bed and it's about 3 feet in front of me and I could jump on my bed if I put this much force into it. Or this is my chest and my TV's right here and I can just reach my hand out and pick this remote up and look at the remote, and I can not only talk to my remote and say, hey, turn to Hallmark Channel, where's Golden Girls? I can also point, look at the word Golden Girls, pay for the renting option, pay for the leasing option, or wait till 3:30 when it comes on for free. You have no idea how blessed you are until you watch my channel. When you watch my channel, when you watch my IGTV videos, and when you hear what I have to say, that's when you have the aha moment, like, ooh, I am so blessed. Like, before I watched this girl video, I was kind of in a funk. I was kind of feeling some type of way. I was kind of thinking about myself like this. And now I'm like, wow, this girl got the audacity to fundraise and challenge people to say, get out the box and get in the game with me and help me open this center up and help me change the lives of visually impaired persons. Help me change the life of the community. Help me change the life of the world. Because this has to happen. With or without you, this will happen. So let me get in this thing, because I want this to happen with me. Because I know a couple of people, my mom, my auntie, my cousin, my nephew, my neighbor, my child's classmate, my child's teacher, my friend from up the block, my this, my that, my, oh my gosh, this guy on Instagram. Oh, you know what, this YouTuber, la 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 la, they could really benefit from this center, from this program, from this lady. You know what, let me share this video, let me like this, let me put some comments, because definitely I want her to do a video on XYZ, because we need to know this stuff. Yes, let me donate, let me cash app Kelly Bragg, $ KELLIBRAGG, great God. Let me send the email so I can get an invoice link to info@vilifewithkelly.com. You know why? Because this is a mutually beneficial relationship. Not only are you increasing your community, you are also increasing your tax refund. Yeah, because the donations you make are tax deductions. Yeah, they're write-offs for you. So it's so many good things that happen when we choose to stretch ourselves, when we choose to invest in the community, when we choose to make a difference. You can never lose. You can never lose, guys. So anyhow, I thank you guys for watching this video. I definitely wanted you to understand what is my goal, what is my purpose, why am I making these videos, where am I going with this, what does it mean, you know, what does VI Life with Kelly, what does that really mean, you know, like, you know, I want you to understand that supporting me is supporting a nation. And there are so many people afflicted with visual impairment. It's unreal. It's like at an alarming rate. To even find people that don't wear some type of glasses, don't use some type of assistive technology nowadays, is very, very, very rare. That you don't have, somebody doesn't have astigmatism, they don't have double vision, they don't have you know, cataracts, they don't have some type of altered myopia, you know, nearsightedness, farsightedness, distortions. Like, it's very rare that people are not having a hard time. I know people that wake up every morning, it's like a cloud over their eyes, and they have to work so hard to get that film off their eyes so they can go on with their day. And if you have that issue, that means that you have a cholesterol and a blood pressure issue. And that means that you need to decrease the amount of high cholesterol, nutrient deprived foods, which would be your scavengers. You're eating a lot of shrimp, a lot of crab, a lot of lobster. You're eating a lot of dairy products. You know, everything's got cheese on it. You eat a lot of different creams and sauces, you know, mayonnaise, tartar sauce, ranch dressing, all that mess like that. You don't drink enough water, or the right source of water. You're drinking a lot of faucet water, right? Filtered water, which is really the same thing. If you don't have an alkaline system at your house, filter water out there refrigerator is garbage. So it's just so many things that's going on that affects people's mind states, and really it puts you at a point of like, what's the point? Like, what is the point? You know, every day I'm waking up, I don't feel good, nothing is helping, nothing is working, you know. So of course you want to hookah all night long. Of course you want to drink bottoms up, you know. Of course you want to you know, 420 friendly this life, you know. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. When you don't have what you need, and when you're dwelling within digressive media, okay, and you are not actively involved or within a circle of movers and shakers, people that believe in the unseen, people that believe in the impossible, people that demand and require more. See, when you don't do that, yeah, then of course Of course, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're depressed, and all that other mess. And of course, you going to work with a chip on your shoulder. You don't want to help anybody. Kudos to the Department of Labor nationwide, right? Kudos to every last one that shows up to work, that's processing these claims, that's making sure people get their payments, and staying on track. And kudos to those who's picking up the slack for those who do not work and don't want to work. People that are not answering their phones, they're not processing claims, they're willfully rejecting people's claims for any reason. They're not sending out letters, they're not communicating, they're not, kudos to you that cares, that still cares, and that still understands that everything that I do is an investment, and it's either going to bless me or it's going to decrease me, because every single thing we say and do is a seed that we've planted in our garden. So it's either going to grow and nourish us or it's going to kill us, and you have to really understand that. Praise God for everyone that was not affected and that has been able to flourish and that has been able to continue on with their blessed situation and thrive through the situation. And that's great. And guess what? May it continue to go that way. But it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. There can be, a monkey wrench in your situation that you never seen coming. And then what? You're going to want somebody to give a damn. You're going to want somebody to show up and show out. You're going to want somebody to be accountable, to be reliable, to be knowledgeable, to be available, to have the energy and the know-how and the concern. You're going to want somebody to treat your situation as if it is their own, as if it is their mother. You're going to want them to have the tenacity, the audacity. You're going to want them to come through. And you're going to want them to win. You're going to want them to be a champion. You're going to want them to catapult this thing, to resurrect this thing, to change this thing. You're going to want them to come in, show up, show out. You're going to want them to help you let the praise burst through your soul, spirit, body, mind, and soul. You're going to want them to make you feel ways you want, because I need some help. That's what you're going to be wanting. You're going to be wanting some real help, not, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, leave a voicemail. Oh, we're going to see what we can do. Skepticism and all that bull. You're not going to want that. You're going to be like, hey, I have a life. I have an existence. I have value. I have people depend on me. I depend on others. I have a reality that's beyond this point right here, beyond this obstacle right here. And I need you to come through. That's what I need. All right, you guys. So definitely we are blessed to be a blessing. Let us all live our purpose. Let us stay on point. Let us have each other's back. And definitely donate to and share, share, comment, subscribe to this center. I want to have a center all over. I really do. I want these centers to grow and to pop up everywhere, and I'm committed to training and to serving. I don't care. They can pop up in Canada, South America, Mexico, but we need these centers where people can come and get help and not be turned away and not be played with. You need centers where you can come in there, bam, I need your help, and we can sit down and do it. Not no, okay, well, let me try to get you an appointment. Let me see. Oh, well, do you have this, and that? Oh, well, you don't have that. Well, you're going to have to come back when you have that. Oh, you need to go over here. You need to go over there. No. Stop all of that. Stop. No. It's time out for that, and it's time to get serious. That's what it's time to do. It's time for us to go in, go hard, and that's that. All right, I want you guys to have and continue to have a marvelous, a wonderful day. I hope lunch was amazing. I hope it was tantalizing. I hope it was delicious. I hope it was nutrient rich. Okay, guys. Blessings to you.
Center. Stop recording video. 1 hour. 9. Stop recording video.